somebody asks, like, what was your favorite meal you had? And he's like, Camille. So he literally posts like a picture of her or whatever, and then posts like another picture of her. And this is on his Instagram story. And it's like, what the f***? Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Below Deckspurts, a podcast that recaps current Below Deck seasons with two Midwest millennial siblings.
You're Morgan, and I'm Lane.
All right, let's do that again. I forgot that I used the same I'm Morgan first. I just heard it go.
That was so funny.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Below Deckspurts, a podcast that recaps current Below Deck seasons with two Midwest millennial siblings. I'm Morgan.
I'm Lane.
And that's Luna.
This is Luna.
And today we're recapping Below Deck Season 11, Episode 12, Happy Captain, Happy Life. This is Luna, everybody. This is my baby French Bulldog. She's about 5 months old.
Hi, Luna.
And you can hear her breathing.
Yep, from a different room.
From a different room.
Different house.
Yep.
Down the road.
She's so worked up. She wanted to come in here with us so bad. So we thought there's no better way to get views than to put a puppy on your video.
Big
Oh
yawn.
my gosh,
Big
look at that yawn. Well, honestly, we were thinking about keeping her in here with us, but due to her breathing, she's probably going to have to leave.
Even when she's sleeping, you can just hear her breathing.
Yeah. She is all worked up.
Why are you so pumped? What are you doing?
She's a little sweet girl. Okay. We'll be right back.
Welcome back.
Hopefully that was worth it.
I think it was. I'll do something with that.
She's adorable.
She is.
Okay. As we said before, this is Below Deck Season 11, Episode 12, Happy Captain, Happy Life. What do you think about the title?
I actually have some different titles they should have used.
Okay.
We found another group of assholes.
Yep. That's a good one.
Yeah. The guests are guest elites, in quotations, gross. A little long.
Little long.
And then an actual serious one, Ben tries to jump ship.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That might be the title of this episode. Stay tuned.
I was
Bang.
also trying to figure out something with like Christmas too, like a wordplay with the Christmas.
These asshole guests wanted Christmas.
I think it was Christmas. Pretty sure. Could you imagine being on a yacht Christmas time?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So good.
Dad's still yelling about picking up the wrapping paper. I got a big bag.
That's more like me nowadays.
Yeah, well, you are dad.
That's true. Yeah, I've become the dad.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be honest, I don't get the Happy Captain, Happy Life title.
He says it like one time.
The captain does?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, I missed it. I'm so bad at picking up the little stuff, guys. If you wanted me to like pick up all the stuff in these episodes, I'd have to watch them like 5 times. My attention span's so short.
Yeah, that's why I watch it twice normally.
Even twice, I get distracted.
Yeah, same.
I'm like looking something up on my computer or whatever. The dogs, the cats.
Mm-hmm.
So the way our episodes work is we start with a question for each other based upon this week's episode, since we don't watch them together. And then once we get into the episode, we focus on 2 to 4 main points throughout. The topics I have for today are Kyle and Barbie's like reaction to everything, new chef,
Yep.
and Ben and Camille ?
Yeah.
So honestly, my questions goes off of that. Well, not really. Though it goes off the topics.
Get it together.
Sorry. I thought it was a better segue than it was. The other night, oh my God, I wish I could remember exactly what Brad said, but I was literally crying because I had said something, and then the remark he gave was something along the lines of like, that's what she said, or like trying to like make fun of what I said, and it didn't land, and I was like, okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm really sorry. I have no idea what that was. Like, it made sense in his head, but then like when he said it out loud, he's like, yeah, I'm sorry. That like didn't make any sense whatsoever. I wish I could remember what it was because I was cracking up just because of his reaction of yeah, I'm just gonna own up to it. It was bad.
Like something like, hey, do you want me to make meatloaf tonight? And he's like, that's what she said.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It didn't really work.
Yes.
Like,
it was something like that where I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know. It went better in my head.
Every now and then that happens when you're off the cuff and you immediately react to something. Sometimes you're like, I promise I'm not drunk, okay? It's like 2 p.m. I said something stupid. Can we just forget about this?
Oh, man. Okay, so anyways, my question is, I feel like one thing in this episode was really staged. Like, I got the feeling of, like, I don't believe this at all. It was the Ben and Camille thing. Like, why would they just pull that out of their ass? Who cares? We've not talked about Camille for this whole entire season. And then all of a sudden they're going to be like, yeah, Ben wants to get back with her. Hey, Ben, call her up and ask to see her. And she's going to deny you. And then you look like an idiot. Like, I didn't believe any of it.
Yeah, but Ben's a dumbass.
Yeah, I guess. But part of me was like, okay. So I guess let's like put it on half on Ben, half on like production. Is like, I think production was like, hey, Ben, this is a good idea. You should do this. And then he was like, yeah, that is a good idea. Let me do that. Even though he really doesn't believe it. Because it's like, where was any of this lead up that he gave a shit about Camille anymore?
That's the thing with fuckboys. You never know what they're going to do.
Like, we went right from Sunny to like maybe Paris to Camille. Is it because of like Paris denied him maybe? Like, not denied him, but in a way did. Like, she made it clear she wasn't interested.
And I wouldn't be shocked if it was completely staged, but I know guys like Ben where he doesn't like that he's in anything with Sunny. He wants to be sleeping with her while going at other options.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get like into psychology and all that because I don't really know it. But I feel like he has these feelings like, oh, she cheated on me. I need to be the winner in that situation because he's currently the loser.
With Camille? Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know she cheated on him.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you know that?
Me and Ben talk.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are cool.
Yeah,
tight.
We call each other.
Yeah, no, I didn't believe any of it. I was like, the whole FaceTime, and she's like, yeah, no, like...
That was
hard to watch. Well, satisfying and hard to watch.
Yeah, at the same time. Unlike another scene of Dylan and Sunny.
Oh, my second note is they made us watch it again.
I know.
Why?
Do you want to see what I did?
What?
For those of you who don't know, I have a computer that I watch everything on, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? But I usually wear headphones when I'm watching something. And as soon as they flipped to that, I went like... like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
And then you closed your eyes.
I literally did. Yeah. I was like, I cannot watch that again.
Why would they make us watch it again?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, they know what they're doing. They're rehashing all of our feelings about it.
Here's what I will say, though. That was like the last time we saw Dylan this episode, though. The only other time we saw him was when he was listening to meditations on his phone.
His affirmations.
Oh, his affirmations.
Do whatever you want to be in the right headspace. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It wasn't his voice.
Oh, God, no. Thank God.
If it was that, I'd be
He recorded himself saying his own affirmations.
Yeah, if it was that, I would start a petition to get him off the show.
That's hilarious. Okay, we can't skip your question because sometimes we do.
We do a lot, but to give you the benefit of the doubt, I usually forget to. This one is actually a little. It's not. Anyways,
spit it out.
Do you like when people in the service industry laugh at everything you say and act excited for things that you know they don't care about? For example, Fraser getting excited about the guest fitting in the bathtub.
First of all, I don't remember that.
It was pretty short. It was the primary guest like fit in the bathtub, and Fraser's like, "Oh my god, that's awesome."
Yeah.
But like he didn't give a shit.
So if I was on this yacht, I wouldn't put. Well, how am I trying to say this? I wouldn't put the service, I guess. What do you call them? The stews, the people that work on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Crew members.
Yeah,
We're not.
We're
drunk.
All over the place tonight.
I've drank a 0 sugar Starry.
She can't.
Which
drive.
is not as good as a Sprite, by the way. Sierra. Well, it used to be Sierra Mist, but Sprite's the ultimate.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, 7-Up third. Gross. Anywho, I don't think I'd put them in those situations to be like laugh at me. Mm-hmm. Like Dad, for example, would put himself in those situations to be like, think my jokes are funny. But I would just be myself. Mm-hmm. And I think then you read people if you're like thinking, I feel like they know what people want.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not answering your question. I don't want to answer your question like no, because I just don't think service people do that to me. Because I don't put them in that situation.
True. Yeah, that is a good point. The only thing I was thinking of in my life is some person, the girl that cuts my hair. Sometimes.
Oh yeah, she's like way over the top.
I can't tell if it's just her personality or if it's like a service thing, but I'll say something like, "Oh yeah, my mom's doing great. Yeah, she took a couple days off last week to go and do this thing," and she's like, "Oh my god, that's crazy."
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, "It's not crazy."
Yeah,
she
okay.
Just joined a gym.
Did she join a gym?
No.
Oh,
I just made all of that.
I was like, what gym did Mom join? I do get what you're saying, and I dislike people like that. And I don't want to say I dislike the girl who does your hair, because I don't dislike her.
No, I love her, but it's just I can't figure it out.
Yeah, but I stopped going to her just because it was like, and I've been there with other people in that industry, like hairdressers, nail people, like the girl that does my nails. I love her. She doesn't do that to me. We were real with each other off the bat. Like, if you want to talk. If you don't. Like,
yeah, I've known her since like 2012. She keeps it 10 toes down.
She does
all the time.
She is my perfect like nail girl. I'd never want to go to anybody else, because it's like, if I want to talk to her, she'll chat with me. If I don't. And she goes so fast. She's so like, that matters to her. Like, whatever. Mm-hmm. Off topic. So I stray away from people like that. But if it's just like a quick, I'm trying to think of like fast food or like Starbucks or whatever. Like, I appreciate when someone's nice to me.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know that in a quick instance like that, if someone's being over the top.
Yeah, we don't really get that anymore in the service industry. Like,
no.
You're taken back if someone like looks you in the eye.
It says like, "Hi, how are you?"
Yeah. And like somewhat means it.
Right. Exactly. That's why Chick-fil-A, Culver's, they're really nice.
It's more of a cult than anything.
You know who else like treats their employees really well? I think we might have talked about this before. Costco.
Oh yeah.
Like, the managers at Costco like make good money. And like,
yeah. One of my close buddies from college is looking to get into that.
Yeah.
Because it is actually like a good career.
I know. It's crazy. Even the cashiers make like a livable wage. Oh, isn't that so crazy in America? Asking for a livable wage is so insane.
But so we start the episode with the morning after.
Yes. I said Kyle played the long game and he did it well.
Yeah.
And he didn't do it like a fuckboy. You know what I mean? Like, he's like a genuine person, because he wasn't like, I played the long game, I knew this was going to happen all along. He was like, I played the long game and it worked.
Yeah, he says something like, I chased her like a puppy dog and it finally paid off.
Exactly.
Which, that's how you do it when you're being a nice guy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it makes me sad. what happens at the end of this episode, but
I know.
I don't think that that's something that's going to last. Like, I think it's going to be like a nothing. You know how they do this all the time where they end on something and you're like, oh my God. And then it begins the next week and they spend 30 seconds on it and everything's fine.
Yeah. I think if I had to guess, and this is what I hope, because I don't like seeing Barbie so like sad and stressed out. I hope it's Kyle apologizes. Barbie's like, okay, thank you. I accept your apology. I kind of lost where I was going there.
Yeah, so let's just talk about this now. Like, we'll do it now, not later. What was she specifically mad at him for? For talking to Ben?
So that was what I brought up earlier. And I wish I would have finished watching it twice. But at some point, Kyle does admit that they hooked up.
Okay.
I think.
But, okay, there's my follow-up question to that. Did she tell him don't tell anybody? Probably not. I don't think so. Unless...
Yeah, I don't think she did directly.
So, I'm Team Barbie. I mean, I love her.
Same.
But I don't think she's all the way in the right here. Unless the only reason she's not, like, maybe they just didn't show us everything. Because my thing is like, okay, if she told him to not tell anybody and then he did, that's wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't think I think if you could clearly hear them too, unless that was added in post-production. But like people saying stuff about it, she's like, what? No, we didn't. Like, if she wants to lie about it, or maybe she's not lying, whatever, that's got to be communicated to Kyle. She can't just expect him to like follow her lead.
Well, and the thing was, he was denying it and not really saying anything. But I don't know if they showed us if he said it to anybody. I think she's more mad at Ben for acting the way he did. And I agree with you. I don't think we saw everything because she's really mad at Ben and we didn't really see much of Ben giving her shit about it.
Well, she's really mad at Ben because Ben inserted himself into the situation, though.
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
That's right.
He was like, hey, I don't like how you're treating Kyle. Now, here's my other thing that's like kind of Team Kyle here is if the roles were reversed, okay, and the next morning Kyle was really upset and like, oh my God, my parents are going to be mad at me. I shouldn't have done that. How do you think Barbie would have felt? Like shit.
Yeah.
Right? So I think we're skipping over the whole fact is that like to see the girl you hooked up with that you like, that you thought mutually liked you, crying into the arms of Fraser the next morning.
Yeah.
How are you going to feel?
Not great.
And you wouldn't feel great for one, but then what Barbie could have done to make it better is talked to him then and said, hey, I don't regret what we did, but I told my dad, like if she would have just communicated that to him, but it was like nothing. And then he's there like, she's crying. I don't really know why. Mm-hmm. The one thing I have against Barbie this episode is that like, I can't endorse her getting mad at Kyle if he wasn't communicated with.
That is a really good point. Yeah, I would not feel good about that.
No, nobody would.
Especially after a night of drinking.
Right.
You feel like an asshole.
Right.
If you're in that situation.
Exactly.
You're like, oh shit.
Right. Like what, he doesn't know what's going through her head. Mm. So it just doesn't make you feel good. And if that wasn't communicated to him, then what's he supposed to think?
Yeah, and if I had to guess, next episode they'll sit down and talk about it. Oh, Jesus. There's your mic stand falling over this episode.
I always think about the people who listen like on podcast players. Like, first of all, you guys didn't. If you're listening on a podcast, oh no, now we just dropped that. Hopefully that's still on. But if you're listening, that was another thing you missed if you're listening and not watching.
Yeah, I think we're good. I'm just going to leave it down there.
You think we're good? Yeah.
It's still recording.
That's where we should keep it every episode.
We used to keep it down there. I don't know who put it on the table.
You.
Prove it.
But you missed if you're not watching on YouTube, you missed Luna.
Yeah.
You missed me almost drop my laptop. You missed us drop the thing we record with. You missed Lane's mic stand falling every week.
Almost every week, yeah. Yeah, I know. I always try and get in the mind of them. They're like,
I know.
what happens every week? I don't get it.
Right.
It's like my mic stand falls over for some reason every week.
Yeah.
I adjust it half an inch and then it falls over.
So yeah, I guess that's the end of that with the whole Barbie and Kyle thing. I mean, if we miss anything, we'll come up, but
Yeah, I know they kind of get into it, and Kyle does kind of get angry about it, but I'm just assuming it's going to be resolved next week.
Yeah, that's what you were saying when all that happened. Okay, so let's jump into the new chef, Nick.
Yeah, he is 40 and... Oh, I have something here. Hang on.
No ex-wife, no kids.
No ex-wife, no kids, and is pretty proud of that. I wrote, looks like how Luke Bryan would look today if he wasn't a metrosexual. Am I allowed to say that?
I don't know. I don't think that's offensive. Maybe it is.
Bo Burnham said it. I think I'm fine.
Okay, well, I guess I don't disagree with that, but I'm being honest, like Luke Bryan is kind of letting himself go.
Oh, I haven't seen him in a while.
Hopefully Luke Bryan doesn't listen to this podcast.
If Luke Bryan listens to this podcast,
Oh my God.
I will go skydiving.
Yeah, so here's a actual actual person though. So I was listening to Armchair Expert and they had Bradley Cooper on and he talked about loving Below Deck. Like, I don't even know how it came up. They were talking about like, you know, reality shows that they like. And I was like, there's a slim chance.
There's a chance.
A slim chance that Bradley Cooper, I'm not saying he's a regular listener.
But maybe he's seen us.
Maybe he's listened to our voices or seen our faces at some point.
Maybe, because there's not many Below Deck podcasts.
And if you are wanting a recap, you know, I'm just saying.
You gotta
it's a
go
good
somewhere.
option. You gotta go somewhere. So, because there's a slim chance that Bradley Cooper's ever heard our voices or seen our faces, that's in conjunction, he's friends with Taylor Swift.
Oh, geez.
So we like basically know Taylor Swift. I mean, and who knows? Taylor Swift never does interviews. Maybe she loves Below Deck and she watches it with her friend Bradley Cooper, and then they both wait every Friday for our episode.
That would be incredible.
That would be actually so incredible.
That would be insane.
You know what was another like random high thought that I had the other day?
Hit me with it.
I was in the shower and I was thinking about these volleyball tournaments I have coming up in the summer. And I need 2 guys to play in a tournament in August here where we live in this tiny town that is by us. And, you know, it's just hard to find people because nobody from, like, the city wants to come that far out. And then all the good players around here are taken. So I'm, like, in my mind trying to figure out who to ask to play in this volleyball tournament. And I'm like,
Bradley Cooper.
Kind of. Almost. Armchair Expert Dax talks about how he loves playing volleyball. And I was like, you know, it's not the craziest thing that's ever happened in this world.
Yeah.
That I could just send him an email to the podcast or whatever. Somebody's going to read that. There's a tiny little chance that they pass that along. And then who knows?
You got to shoot your shot.
Exactly.
I mean, you write a decent email and might get to him and he might come out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not impossible.
It's not impossible. And that was my thought that I had. I haven't sent the email yet, but
Send it.
I will. I'll do it. I gotta craft it because it's gotta, like, really gotta sell it. You know, you gotta have a good title to catch them, to make them open it.
Yeah.
And then you gotta be like, boom, boom, boom. Not too much info, but not too little. You gotta put a lot of thought into it. Back to metrosexual.
Oh, God. We're still not back on Below Deck.
This is, we're almost there. We're talking about chef.
Yeah, we are.
So we're basically back. Relating to or denoting men who live in urban areas and enjoy shopping, fashion, and similar interests traditionally associated with women or gay men. See, this is now making me think this might be an offensive term, but I don't know if it is. I could Google that.
I always thought it was just a guy that like took very meticulous care of himself.
Yeah, that's exactly what it says. Meticulous and scrupulous about his personal style, grooming. But what it's saying is, I
Feel like that definition is more offensive than me using a word.
No, I feel like, again, well, I already went on my spiel about like gay and lesbian being offensive or things like that. Like they're not at all.
Yeah.
Like calling someone that is, it's factual or
True.
not factual.
Yeah, you're right.
But, what was I going to say? Oh, I guess the term is like, oh, things traditionally associated with women are gay men. So that's what makes people be like, oh my God, are they gay or whatever? But
see, that's not the part I think that is offensive. But
right. Well,
I don't know.
It's, not offensive. What's the word I'm looking for? It's,
out of date.
No. I'm looking for the word in my brain right now. Presumptuous.
Yeah, that's a great word.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Great word.
All right. Back to the chef. So yeah, he's 40. How do you feel about that?
I don't mind. I don't care who you are, what you are. If you can do a good job, do a good job.
Yep.
But he just gives me the vibes of he's going to be a monster.
See, I know. I'm still unsure of him. We have a couple things in the episode that happened that I'm like, what? And the one, okay, hold on. I'm going to skip to it right now because I have to. Oh, Barbie's in there. And she had just argued with Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes to the galley. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. Welcome to the boat, whatever, to the chef. Mm-hmm. And he makes the comment, handsome chef coming in to steal your girl.
Yeah.
Did you catch that?
I did.
I was like, excuse me, what?
Yeah, like, buddy.
She was, no.
At this point, just do your job.
Yeah. Yeah, what is the cutoff where it's weird? Like, Barbie, what is she, like, Barbie's like 27, 28?
Yeah, I think she's... a year or two older than me.
Is dating a 40-year-old chef weird?
Not in this day and age.
12 years.
I feel like it would be unexpected for Barbie.
Yeah, I guess I'm just talking about in general.
In general.
I guess I just don't know, like, what the cut off is as, like, you go through stages in your life, right?
Well, I mean...
I guess there is no cutoff.
I'm 26. It would be very weird to me and you if I was dating a 40-year-old.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Even me, well, I'm 31. Mm-hmm. And I guess I'm married to someone who's going to be 38.
Old ass.
But I feel like, yes, like, I feel like Brad and I are right on the cusp of if he was a couple years older, we wouldn't connect as much because it's like generationally, you know?
Well, yeah, and Brad's very, like, open to your things, you know,
yes.
like, open to going to a Taylor Swift concert
right.
or going to a live podcast that you like and stuff like that. So I feel like if Brad was 10 years older, it wouldn't even matter.
Really?
It'd matter a little bit.
Well, because then the other thing I think is, like, I'm 31. I don't think I could connect well with, like, a 23 or 24-year-old.
Probably not.
So
I don't think I could either.
No, it's like there's those different stages in your life, you know?
Mm.
I mean, that's why like an 18-year-old and a 28-year-old is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
And I'm even in that weird point in my life where I don't really want to date anyone younger than me.
Yeah.
Because everyone
unless it's a couple years
is a dumbass. Anyone younger than 24 has no idea what's
right.
going on, and
neither
do I. But I'm at a stage above where like I don't know what's going on, but I kind of do.
Yeah, but you're like used to it.
Yeah, but I'm used to being a dumbass.
Yeah.
Anyways, we can get back to Below Deck.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Might have to cut some of this out.
No, it's good. We always get back to the point.
We do, yeah.
So I guess we'll go back up to, we're like jumping around a little bit, but now we're back to the Ben and Camille stuff, unless you have something else first.
No.
So I want to try to set this up. It comes on so fast.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Where Ben's just like, I'm thinking about Camille. Or no, I guess it didn't come out of nowhere. Not totally. I think he was on Instagram And while they were filming, because I tried to do this in my head, he had done one of those polls on Instagram where people can like ask you a question in the question box. And it was like, below deck tonight.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like, below deck tonight, ask me some questions. And so I'm thinking, okay, was last season on TV when they were shooting this season?
Oh, that's a good point.
But that doesn't make sense in my mind with like when things premiered.
I mean, I'm guessing they're recorded about a year.
It wouldn't make sense
apart?
because it was the Christmas episode. So it was December and it's like almost summer now. So what I'm thinking, my best guess is, I guess none of this matters, but I just had it in my mind. I have to figure out why he asked that, like below deck tonight. I'm thinking it had to have been like below deck down under. And he was just playing off of that, like, oh, below deck's on, like another below deck show, but it's not like actual below deck.
Moral of the story, the timeline is probably a lot closer than we think it is to when they broke up to where we're at now in below deck.
That's not even the point I was making. I was just wondering why he was like, below deck tonight, ask me questions in the middle of them filming. My brain couldn't figure out like how that was happening.
Yeah.
But anyways, so somebody asks, well, and this is where it gets random. Somebody asks like, what was your favorite meal you had? And he's like, Camille, which is gross anyways, even if you're not being a douche with Sunny. If you're
there's no way to make that
it's
douchey.
It's douchey. So he literally posts like a picture of her or whatever, and then posts like another picture of her, and this is on his Instagram story, and it's like, what the fuck?
Like, yeah, extremely public.
Extremely public, and it's like a bikini shot of her too. Like, it's like it'd be weird if my ex-boyfriend posted a bikini picture of me on their Instagram story.
Yeah.
Very weird, weirdo. So then Sunny sees it, gets really upset, and like she's
immediately starts
crying and goes to Paris, and Paris is like a boss.
Yeah, Paris is awesome.
She's so cool.
We want to interview you, Paris.
Yeah, we always say that, and then we don't do anything.
We'll do it.
Don't do anything with it. It'll happen maybe one day. So like, where's my note? I guess maybe I didn't make any notes about this. Oh, I have get him Paris. Because basically, like, Sunny goes to Paris, and then she goes to Ben.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the worst conversation ever.
Yeah, she's like, you've been fucking with my sunshine or something like that.
Oh, I didn't even hear her say that.
Yeah, she's not happy with Ben.
Well, I basically, like... all I heard, this is where my brain was all I heard was him being like, yeah, you being upset's like annoying.
Yeah,
and
I have that written down.
It's always something. And I'm done dealing with your emotions. Stop having those. And it was like the ultimate gaslighting of like, we're just going to hook up, okay? And then if I hook up with other people, that's okay too.
Yeah.
It was very like demeaning in my mind. And I've always been Team Sunny. And yes, is she perfect? No. I think she's a little immature. But like what he's doing is just like so shitty.
Well, we've seen it multiple times. It's the guy wanting the girl to be faithful to him while he goes and does whatever he wants.
The one thing I will give Ben here is that she has not done anything to make him think he wouldn't let her. If that makes sense. Like if she tried to hook up with another guy, she's never done that. So we've not seen how Ben would react.
Yeah.
I want to give that to him if anything. Like we have not seen Ben be possessive of her.
Do I think we will see that? Yes, but we haven't.
Okay. I'm not sold that we will. But anyways. So that happens, and then what does Paris say to him?
Basically, she just kind of chews him out.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I didn't write down anything like what she said, but...
I didn't either, but yeah, she just, brings some reality to him, and he doesn't respond to it.
Yeah.
Or respond well to it, I should say.
So while this is all going on, I feel like at the beginning of the episode we get like a lot, like all the three things at once.
It was like everything in the beginning, and then
yes,
still hyperventilating towards the end.
right. While this is going on, Barbie's crying to Fraser. So it's like Sunny's crying to Paris, Barbie's crying to Fraser, Kyle and Ben are talking. Like it's like all of this is happening all at once before the guests come on.
Yeah, and it's about that point in the season where everyone's crying and pissed off at each other.
Right. So yeah, I guess we don't have to talk about the whole Barbie and Kyle thing again, but that's when that was happening.
I do want to give Fraser, he handled it really well.
Oh yeah, like they're getting along so well now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, why couldn't they just...
He responded perfectly.
He did, yeah.
Listened to her, gave her some advice, and cracked a joke.
Yep.
You're good.
Yep, yeah, no, totally. I agree. So then the guests get here. And Fraser says they've been here for 10 minutes and I want to confiscate their phones. Mm-hmm. They're like Yelp reviewers and Instagram foodies.
Yelp executives, I think.
He's like, we're Yelp executives. Which, kudos. I'm only talking shit because I would like to have that job.
I would not.
Not that I want the fame with it or like I don't care about Instagram followers, but if I got paid to go eat food and review it, that's the part I'm jealous about.
Yeah, but then you're just eating a bunch of spit all the time.
No. Well, maybe.
If you're that public about it, people know you.
No, I guess what I'm saying is I want to be a food critic, even though I don't have the palate for it.
Yeah, that'd be nice. There's the complete opposite of that. I listened to this story a little while ago that was like, I'll make this very quick. The person telling the story was just a person on vacation. The next table, she finds out later, were food critics that were as low-key as possible, but they couldn't help certain people finding out. So they were getting like the best treatment, everything that the other table, the girl telling the story, was asking for. And basically the food critics put it in their review that like we were treated very well, but the table next to us, they were assholes too. So we're going to give that review of what they got.
Oh, yeah.
But then you got people like this who are like, I work for Yelp.
Yeah, that's true.
So give me things to take pictures of.
Yeah. But you still get free stuff.
True.
Like, I don't want to be an influencer. Like, I don't care about, again, being like the TikTok, dancing, makeup, all that stuff. But who I am jealous of, or who I like think does a really good job, is Vegas Starfish. She's this like Vegas She's not even really an influencer. She's like a Vegas Vegas insider.
Trip tips.
Yes, like she reviews all the restaurants, and she's, not so big that all these restaurants know her, but some of them do. She gets invited to places and to do a video.
Like Keith Lee, is that his name?
Kind of. She's kind of like him. But she'll like review hotels, and she like went in and like saw the cleanliness of all of like the budget hotels, and I really like her page because it's like just it's not like her trying to sell you things. It's her being like, hey, here's these
like I got
restaurants
boots on the ground.
Right,
Check
yeah.
this out.
Yeah. Anyway, so they're annoying and the crew thinks that they're also annoying. Then we get to the first meal that they have, and it's supposed to be like this seafood platter, seafood extravaganza, right? And Chef made like one thing with seafood.
Yeah, he made, was it octopus nachos?
What?
Was it octopus?
It was something weird, and he even thought it was weird.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that.
Because it wasn't even like calamari, which would make more sense.
It was weird.
And then he made lamb chops.
You didn't even get the sense that he thought it was good.
Yeah.
It was weird. So Captain gets mad, like doesn't yell at him or anything, but Captain goes down there and he's like, look at the preference sheet, read what it says in the preference sheet here. And he's like, oh.
Well, and that's a new, like a open wound too, with Chef Anthony not reading the preference sheet.
Yes, that's true.
So that's like the one thing you shouldn't do when you're the next chef, and he did it.
Yeah. But then does he make up for it? Does he bring him out more food?
He does. He makes scallops.
Okay.
And I think they're happy with that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't remember them having any issue with it. So It is. Oh, one last thing about Ben and Camille and Sunny. I like how Ben is trying to justify being a douche to us. He's like, we just don't have a spark and you can't force it.
Yeah.
It's like, Ben.
Then stop having sex with her.
Right. Or like, if you know who she is, and if you really think like she's going to get too attached, but you're still going to have sex with her, that's your fault. You can't, don't try to be like a good guy to me.
Yeah. And
don't try to make her sound like she's crazy.
I know, and I'll bet anything that they either hook up again or Ben tries to hook up with her again.
And I love how Ben could have so easily said, you know what, this is getting to be too much. Let's just not sleep together anymore. I was ready for him to say that. But he goes, but he did. And he goes, but if we sleep together, we sleep together.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm like, you fucking douchebag. Like, you couldn't just, there's a few weeks left in the season. You couldn't just say, let's not do this anymore. You had to leave it open.
No, I know a guy exactly like Ben that I despise, and he does the same exact things. And I won't get into it.
So really, like, I don't have much about the guests. They like hang out, then they or they go in to do, what do they do? Like a cheese thing?
No, they're hyping up this. They're like, we're going to a chocolate factory.
Oh yeah,
this is gonna be so cool. And it's like a storefront.
I know.
Which is like fine. Like you can go do that. That seems really cool, but don't make me think you're going to Willy Wonka's or some shit. Like,
I know.
Like you got a golden ticket.
Maybe they thought they were.
Yeah, and then they're like, well, shit.
I remember that thing kind of happened to me and Brad in Costa Rica. We booked this thing. God, I should actually tell this. If I could have recounted this whole day, it was a really random day. We booked this thing. And we thought it was like a tour of like coffee, like because they make coffee in Costa Rica. Ends up being some guy pulls up in his car.
Oof.
And I'm like, and it doesn't look bad. Like he wasn't like sketchy in a sketchy car or whatever. We get in the back of the car and we're like, so are we going to somewhere to get on like a van or something? He's like, nope, this is it. Like he was like our personal tour guide. Oh. Which is cool, but like I didn't pay for that. We must have just been the only ones that booked it.
Oh, yeah, probably saving gas.
Yeah. So, and instead of canceling on us, they just told this guy.
Sent
this guy. So,
you know, buddy, go grab your Camry and pick them up.
Take them around. And he did. It was this, oh my God, it was so weird. It was so weird. You could tell this guy was adding things in because he felt bad because it was just us.
He's like, that Subway was built in 2017. I go there sometimes. They skimp on the meat. Don't go there.
So he takes us, now granted, these are cool, they were cool things, but he like takes us to this like beach and he's like, you guys want to get out? And we're like, yeah, sure. Like we'll go walk on the beach. But again, like, good intentions, but so we randomly walk on a beach and then he randomly is driving us through these like streams and like mini like water trails in a car.
Town and country.
Yeah, in a car that was like a town and country, like not like a Camry or a Corolla or anything, but not a Jeep.
Yeah, you need a Jeep for shit like that.
So it was just, that was really funny. But the point I'm trying to make is then we were supposed to go to this coffee place where they teach you about coffee. And again, I'm thinking like a plantation. I don't know what I'm thinking.
You actually just Ubered to Starbucks.
It was literally a restaurant where they brewed coffee. I'm not joking. Now, again, it wasn't bad. I have nothing to complain about from this day. It was just a bunch of random surprises. So it turns out they have this freaking lady who I'm pretty sure is just a waitress at this restaurant brewing us like this coffee and trying to talk about it. And she's like, I'm sorry, my English isn't like perfect. And we're like, it's okay. At this rate, like, this is just the experience. Oh my God, that's actually such a funny day. That could be like a stand-up routine, me just talking about that day. So let's jump to dinner. I don't think there's anything really in between.
Yeah, there's really not.
Okay.
Guests back on board. Oh, the primary's wearing a hat that says cancel brunch. Throw him off the boat. Got nothing for him.
Why would... That's like the hottest take I've ever heard.
Best meal ever.
Who hates brunch? Literally no
this guy,
one.
Apparently.
Wow, talk about being alone on an island.
Yeah.
Nobody's joining that boat. Nobody's joining that cult.
Stay there. So the first thing is salmon on mashed potatoes and orange fennel and asparagus.
All right, thoughts?
Got a little thing for you. Salmon has a very mild flavor, which will let the orange fennel's licorice taste and the buttery mashed potatoes flavors thrive. I'm assuming most of these things have been cooked in butter or oil, making it taste amazing with the salty salmon. However, I wouldn't serve salmon in the Caribbean.
No.
There's no salmon in the Caribbean.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Salmon's not my favorite fish. There's definitely a milder fish out there, but
Well, and it's fine, but I would rather have something that is nearby.
that's true because you have to be like, unless, because our salmon freshwater,
Yes.
unless there's freshwater on the island where they catch salmon, then that's okay.
I don't think there is because they're a cold climate fish. I could be dead wrong.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
But I'm pretty sure they're more of a northern fish.
Yeah. But I guess we can't make this argument because they eat steak and where are they getting the cows from?
Midwest.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anywho, but that's
Fair
a good
enough.
point. Fair enough. Oh, you forgot to say it's the Feast of the Seven Fishes because it's a Christmas party.
Oh, yeah.
So kind of a cool take, which now makes more sense with the salmon. It's a fish-themed meal. Wow, we full circle on that one.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got?
Watch us figure things out.
Spend 10 minutes listening to us figure out something you already knew.
Spend 5 minutes yelling at your screen telling us how we're wrong until we figure it out.
It's a really fun game.
I forgot how to say this. Strazapreti? Strazapedi.
No idea.
No idea. With crab. Strazapreti. I know I'm not saying that right. Is basically a type of pasta that is handmade and hand rolled. They don't specify what sauce they put on it, but chef.
Whoa,
put
stop
crab.
yelling at me.
I'll throw something.
What, chef what?
You don't get to know now. And then we had lobster with carrot ginger puree. Wrote a whole thing, but basically the flavors of those three things go really well together.
What was the first thing again?
Lobster with carrot ginger puree.
Oh, that would be a hard one for me.
It doesn't sound well, but I was researching it and kind of comparing it. I feel like it'd be really good.
Okay. I'm not a huge fan of carrot, and I'm not a huge fan of ginger.
Oh, yeah, you fucking hate carrots.
Yeah, I really do. I would rather eat a cooked carrot than a raw carrot.
I'm the opposite.
I think Brad likes cooked better than raw, too. I know you and Mom used to eat raw carrots all the time, and I'd always try it, and it was so gross. I wish I liked more vegetables. It's not that I haven't tried. I just hate it.
It's so weird, too, because carrots don't really taste like anything.
There's a weird sweetness to them that does not compute in my brain.
I don't know. I don't get that. You're wrong.
I also
wrong.
wish I liked cucumber, but I don't like that either.
That's one thing that I kind of have to choke down. Like,
Yeah.
if someone gives me cucumbers, I'm like, hey, I'll make cucumber water, and then I drink it. I'm like,
You try to convince yourself you
Yeah.
like cucumber water.
I'm like, it's like natural Gatorade. And then we had seared tuna.
Ooh, I do love tuna. Tuna cooked the right way is so good.
Yeah, or raw tuna.
Actually, yeah, I like tuna in any of its forms.
Except for in a can.
No, I eat it out of a can too.
Yeah, when I do that, I'm like, no.
It's another thing you make yourself eat that you don't like.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're really down in the dumps, you got to make rice and tuna, and it sucks.
No, you can make canned chicken and tuna. It's the same. Canned chicken's the same price as canned
I
tuna.
don't believe in canned chickens. How do they live in there?
They don't. That's the point. All right. Any more food?
I don't know what you're talking about. No, that's it.
Except for the cannoli with local chocolate.
Yeah.
The dessert.
Yeah, you always do the dessert.
I know. I always only
Don't make
write
me
it.
look like an idiot here. Bradley Cooper's watching.
You're right. That's true. And Taylor Swift.
And Taylor Swift.
And maybe Dax Shepard.
Can you imagine if Taylor Swift was watching this?
Could you imagine? She watches stuff. You know, she's a normal person.
Can you imagine if, like, we found out, like, the official Taylor Swift YouTube commented on this? You would be in a coma.
I would.
I would have to do the show for, like, 3 months by myself.
I know. Taylor, if you're listening, you don't have to tell us you do. Okay, just send us a secret message somehow in the form of tickets to the Indianapolis concert.
Another thing I would have to do without you because you'd be in a coma.
I know.
Me and Brad at a Taylor Swift
But for
show.
real, if anybody wants to give me tickets to Indianapolis, that would be great. Because I'm really going to want to go. And we're not that far from Indianapolis.
True.
But anyway, the cannoli with the local chocolate. Oh my God, I love cannoli. And with the local chocolate, I mean, they made the chocolate sound really good. So I bet it was a fire.
Yeah. It was
I really
probably
want a
very
cannoli
good.
now. You can't really make cannolis are like hard to make. You have to get them.
Yeah.
There is a restaurant though that's nearby us that does make cannolis that I can go get. Anyways,
You're gonna have to tell me after the episode. I don't know what place that is.
yeah. I think that's basically it. We already talked about how it kind of ends with Ben and Barbie and Kyle. We'll see how that picks back up next week. But the coming up on drama between Chef and Paris,
Yeah.
like the most random.
Yeah. That's like having drama with like a golden shepherd.
A golden shepherd?
The dog.
I don't think that's a real dog. Golden retriever?
I said golden shepherd.
I think you did.
Golden
Did he say
I
it,
meant-
everybody?
I did. Yeah, I meant golden retriever.
I was like a cross between a German shepherd and a golden retriever.
I mean, it probably is, but that's not what I meant. Call me
so
out again. See what happens. See what fucking happens.
oh, well, I'm just gonna act like golden shepherd's a dog. I don't want to look stupid.
Dax Shepherd's a real thing, so,
That's a
not
person.
that far off.
And then the other thing that happens is Fraser and the guest kiss at midnight,
Yeah.
which we'll have to see how that plays out because other captains are pretty strict about that. We've not seen captain have to like enforce that rule or even talk about that rule.
I was going to say Captain Sandy would get you the hell out of there, but...
And Captain Lee, Captain Lee would be mad.
Yeah, I don't really care about that, but...
Captain Sandy, too, that's like one of her things.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just not a big Captain Lee fan. Sorry to everybody that is. I haven't seen much of him, but anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate him, but he's definitely not... I mean, I like Captain Sandy. I kind of like every other captain better than him.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Captain Sandy would be pretty rough on that. I
Yeah.
don't know how Carrie's going to be. Mm-hmm. And then Barbie is getting yelled at by her mom over the phone.
Kind of.
It's what
really.
it seems like.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
I'm gonna say it's not that big of a deal, but we'll have to see next week. What's the secret word? Because anybody who made it to the end of this one, wow.
Yeah,
I don't say that.
We don't say that every time, but if you made it this far, we love you.
Yeah.
The secret word is cannoli.
Ooh, yeah, cannoli. All right. Anything else?
No.
We love you guys. We keep seeing the numbers go up on YouTube, and
Yeah. Before we go, yeah, we were at 199 for subscribers for like a week and a half, and I'm like, someone just click a button, and now we're at like 219. And I'm like, I'm grateful, but I'm like, what is YouTube? Like,
I know.
I don't understand it.
yeah,
But we're just gonna keep doing it no matter what happens.
yeah.
So if you enjoy us, come back next week and take it away.
Okay, bye.
Thought there was more to the outro.
Bye, everybody. See you
Bye.
next week.
See you then.